Welcome back to Grandma Worldwide Radio. This is Unfiltered. I'm Ian James.
This is Jay Skyline, and this is back to the regular program here. And you know what time it is? It's sports talk with a dash of controversy. It's really ain't even sports talk. We're about to spend like 15 minutes talking about something that has nothing to do with sports except the band owns a team. Mm-hmm. So the FBI raided a Asian spa down in Florida, where they have about like 50 to 60 names on this affidavit of people they have on video doing stuff. Where I will admit, and we're going to say it real quick, Robert Kraft of the New England Patriots was on this list. They also say that he was there the day of the AFC title game.
Yeah, he was there that day.
Now, that was a night game, and it happened in the morning. He's paid in a different fashion than we are, so he probably can't get on a jet and get somewhere in that amount of time. But dude, like really, like you ain't got nobody traveling with you to get that off of you to help you out with that. Like you needed to go to Jupiter, Florida, which is like an old folks home community.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Hey.
This is the issue, and this is the big issue is the FBI is going after the place and the Johns, and this is why they're going after the Johns, because everybody's like, oh, they're just paying for sex. They're not helping with the fact that this is a sex trafficking sting. Mm-hmm. This is why the Johns are going to get in a lot of trouble. Apparently, 30 minutes is like $50-something, and an hour was like $70 or $80. No woman who is selling their body willingly is that cheap, unless they're doing crack. I'm right. So if I'm telling you now, outside of like a blowjob, if you're getting less than $100 for some tail, she's not doing this willingly, or she got the dumbest pimp on the planet. So, and the fact that now they did say Robert Kraft paid $100 and tipped something else wild, because at this point, we need that half of the story. If Robert Kraft came in there because he said he was there for 15 minutes the day of the AFC Championship game, which is like. Okay.
What was that? He was just stopping in.
That's what he's trying to tell people. He's trying to say that they don't know, because at first they didn't say they had the video footage. Yeah. So Robert Kraft came out and said, he came out with the full-blown deny, this ain't happened. They don't know what I did for the time I was in there. And they're like, no, we got the tape.
How much of what's going on? He just got it up and went down or something? Like,
all I'm saying, well, they're getting into detail, which I don't know, bro. Like, I'm in the middle with this one, bro, where I'm like, do I want this? Like, if I ever see this video, I want blurs. I want censors. For any sicko that wants to see this video uncensored, that's on you. I just want to know they have real proof. After that, I don't need to see the rest. Because somebody said one of the videos is him getting oral sex. And I'm like, I do not need to see a damn near 80-year-old to 90-year-old grown man get oral sex from an Asian woman that didn't want to do it. I have no interest in that video. And apparently, I'm like, y'all got videos of 60 to 80 men in this position. They're saying some of these women were sleeping with over 1,000 men a year.
God damn.
Which that means you was getting it. You did not getting it. I apologize.
W2s.
But think about I'll have to do the math, but that's like 3 men a day.
It's about.
If not like a couple of days where you get like 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like
Christmas special, Easter special, Thanksgiving special, Halloween special.
Groupon.
It's a massage parlor, so yeah, you could get a Groupon.
Could get a Groupon. I'm sure they probably were dumb enough to go get a Groupon. Again, they were running this as a regular massage parlor.
Yeah.
That happened to have unwilling happy endings.
So there's no collusion possibly from Miami, Jacksonville, or Tampa. I mean, Tampa's maybe the closest city.
Well, they're saying no.
No NFL's in with it,
Just Robert Kraft.
So yeah.
There was a false flag operation put out the day after where somebody tried to say there was a bigger name on the list than Robert Kraft, which made no sense because they announced the entire list at one time. It was just that somebody had went through the list and happened to see the name Robert Kraft, so we cared. Mm-hmm. Honest to God, and I feel bad for the women in this case, Robert Kraft isn't on this list. This is a Florida issue, and we might get it on one of our, this would have probably still reached our show because Florida is one of our demographics to get our news. Mm-hmm. So we would have probably still been able to talk about it on here, but the rest of the country wouldn't have cared as much.
Yeah.
So no, it was really just the idea that they wanted to make people think that somebody bigger than Robert Kraft might pop up on this, but there's nobody bigger than Robert Kraft on this. And there's a local business owner from Pittsburgh on the list.
Oh, really?
I found that out earlier today. I'm gonna have to look up.
What business is that?
We do need to know that one.
So James, how do you feel about this? This whole incident? While I looked this up real quick.
So I thought I was hearing that they illegally obtain the video footage.
In most cases, I think stuff like that's illegal. But I mean, at this point, they're not gonna.
I mean, like,
Also, they're trying to get it out as public record or public domain. So somebody's trying to get the video released ASAP.
oh shit,
Football season all next year.
damn,
Woo. The big head Brady's and shit.
yeah.
If you see Kim May,
Kraft just up there with. I don't even know.
Oh, I wish I could find this dude's name real quick, but yeah,
But
man.
this is just pretty much just running the Patriot legacy here. You
No,
know?
no. I mean, this isn't even crack the seal to me because I am fully on this side. Again, this is illegal. You take the time you do when it comes to prostitution. This is not Canada.
Yeah.
Canada prostitution's legal. And the strip in not the strip, in anywhere in Nevada outside of Las Vegas. People don't get to understand that. Las Vegas
Outside
itself
it, yep.
still has prostitution laws. That's why, if y'all remember when y'all was a kid watching HBO, the Cat House was like 10 miles outside of Vegas. Or the Bunny Ranch. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like 10 miles out of Vegas for a reason. But no, as just the law. Like sometimes, like even if somebody gets pulled over on the street to get the ticket for having weed in their car, yes, that's shitty. But as long as they really just do their job and give you the ticket and leave and tell you to get on your way, that's what you get. Like this is what it is. And that's how I look at Robert Kraft. I'm like, hey man, you're 80-something years old. Your wife died like 3 years ago, and you're rich. I'm sorry, bro. If I'm rich and I'm a widow, I'm busting a nut every night. I'll drop a G every night. Somebody coming through. That's my only issue is you was going to the spa. You were rich enough that you ain't never need to go to the spa. You shouldn't even have to open your door, man. The butler should be down there like, oh, you're here for Mr. Kraft today? Like, that's where I'm like, man, you seem like the whole combination of issues of the price lets you know these women aren't here on their own.
No, yeah.
But you kept coming back. Like, that's where I'm confused at. I'm like, and if you like whatever one you like that much, then bring her home. I'm sure you could have dropped a stack or two on this one and be like, hey, come home with me. I know this sounds so sick and wrong, but I'm just saying that this is my confusion on being that rich and going out of my way to get a prostitute that apparently doesn't want to be a prostitute. Where there are thousands of Instagram models and former people that used to work for you, Hefner, that are waiting to hop in Kraft's bed. Waiting. They will take that $100 proudly. Because that's cheap. That's all I figured out from Robert Kraft, is he is cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not the time to get caught being cheap.
No, you don't want to be cheap on this. That's just real.
Just think about that. Like, you got caught being cheap on this? All right, I got it. Pittsburgh Man, Mark Curran Bope. They got him walking into the spa on the Highway 1 exchanging money with a woman at the front desk. According to the police report, he was recorded engaging in sexual acts with a masseuse. They are not releasing the name of this man's business, though.
Oh.
Give me a second. He's from Duquesne Heights, which Mount Washington.
Wait, no, that's
Like the far half.
Yeah,
of Mount
that side of Mount. Yeah.
That's the only that again. This is how the media in Pittsburgh works. When they don't want you to know that the person in the queer community has done some bad shit, that's like a 4-block part of Mount Washington.
Yeah.
At the very far end of Mount Washington. I can imagine he lives next to one of the inclines in like actual Mount Washington. They're just like Duquesne Heights. It's like maybe it'll get it mixed up with actual Duquesne. Like, y'all some shit. Like, that's why I hate the media in this city for shit like that, bro. Always out here doing some dumbass shit. And he's 64 years old. Probably has a widowed wife. Again, I'm not, wait, what? He spent 150? So, yeah, at least the people that we are talking about apparently paid past the minimum.
he got on something down Southside on the strip. Like, he got a nice business.
So he's facing a $5,000 fine, 100 hours of community service, and attendance of an educational program and negative effects on prostitution and sex trafficking.
He's how old?
64.
Oh wait, what did he get again?
$5,000. Well, this is what he's punishable by up to.
None of this hurts.
1 year in jail, $5,000 fine, 100 hours community service, and attendance of a sex ed program with the sex trafficking was part of it. And I'm sure this is where they're going to get fucked up with Kraft. Y'all can't punish Kraft more just because he's richer. This isn't how this works. And I'm not arguing for Kraft because he's out here rocking with Meek and them now. This is just how this you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like if there was somebody that walked in there one time and only got that $59 minimum, and y'all got him, he got to get the same charges as Kraft. Unless you know that Kraft was paying for these women to come from wherever they was coming from and helping in the organization, which at that point then Kraft is done and he's losing a team. So that's where I'm like, you can't be out here punishing people differently. Also, there are apparently fans, like people were going to the spa now to take pictures in front of the spa.
Oh, get out of here. That's trifling as hell. This is the second stadium. This is where the real magic happens. Okay, what about him? He mouth kisses people. So now it's kind of like you kind of might have known before that he might have been doing this, but now you do, and it's kind of like
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Tom Brady, I'm walking into his office an open hand, smacking the fuck out of him.
open hand.
Like I need the clap to be heard from down the hallway. I didn't even think about that because I've seen him kiss Tom Brady on the mouth like 4 times.
Yeah, they have
a Birdman Wayne relationship. They have a Birdman Wayne relationship.
God. I'm just saying, like, there's a few things that need to be explained, and like, there's a few things like, hey.
Oh, and they also said, and this is where things get really scary to me because most of the men on that list were like well off, is they said the hygiene in this place wasn't good. And if there are women in here getting it down 3 to 4 times a day, I'm like, well, what happens if you're dude number 3 or 4? I mean, number 2 is pretty bad, but like 3 or 4, I'm at this point like,
Damn.
like I'm like you hit something with that one, Jay.
That's the one with the Groupon right there.
4 p.m. or after specials.
4 p.m. after special.
This is your first guy today, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Let's go with that.
Oh man.
I just don't get it.
So that's, I don't know. That's just something kind of, we'll see. Keep posted about that,
So I'm gonna get out of the. Unless you have anything you want to add to this.
No, we done.
I'm gonna hop out of this. Apparently, we have some brand new news of your kinfolk doing your kinfolk type of stuff. Shocking moment of polar bear attacks woman who climbed into zoo enclosure to do some dumbass shit with the polar bear.
When?
Today.
Damn.
Actually, the story just came out 9 minutes ago, so this is fresh. It's at the Berlin Zoo. Fuck the Berlin Zoo, for one thing. The Berlin Zoo is where they had, I forget her name, but the African-American woman that they used to have back in the day that had like the first real black fat
I thought
ass.
that was a Belgium zoo.
Oh, okay, Belgium. All right. All y'all can be in the same boat.
I don't want to hold that too. We can
Well,
still say,
still, 32-year-old woman leapt over the bars at the Berlin Zoo feeding time yesterday. Feeding time. Why would y'all do that? Like, there's a legitimate chance that some of these bigger animals won't fuck you up if they're full. But if they haven't been fed, despite 6 zookeepers' efforts to distract the four predators kept in the enclosure, the woman was bit 10 several times on her arm. This article is terrible. The brave keepers eventually managed to push the bears away and pull the woman to safety. She was bit 10 by... The thing is, they keep on putting the TM symbol in the middle of everything because I guess they want everybody to know they own this shit, but it's in the middle of the fucking paragraphs. By one of the 4 older polar bears in the enclosure. So basically, the woman's alive.
That's surprising. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but she was taken to the hospital, done for treatment. I'm going to post the, there's a video. Ooh, I don't know if I want to see this. If y'all want to see the video, y'all can come over to the UnFiltered page. I just posted it right now, and y'all can watch it yourselves. I don't think I got that in me. And I've watched people be killed on camera. I don't know if I got polar bear biting people.
Well, there was that one where that lion fucked up that one dude, that old guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he dragged him around or something, and then they I don't know how they got him out, but...
A rhino just gut punched someone.
If you were close enough to a rhino to get gunned.
Yeah, you were, no.
Right in the gut.
If you're not in your fucking car...
Before we stretch off into the rest of our overly unfiltered, I got a little bit of more sports stuff for you. The Penguins took the L on the Stadium Series to the Flyers the other day. One thing I need to know from y'all two, is Sheetz, Wawa, whatever they call that, like a East Coast or East PA, West PA beef? Because I saw a trailer leading up to the game. It was like a Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia trailer. And the trailer was cool, But there was literally a 10-second part of the trailer where they showcased a split screen of Sheetz and WAWA. And I'm like, wait, Sheetz is on the entire state of Pennsylvania, including like outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I understand that the WAWA is only in Eastern PA. And that everybody keeps on telling me their deli sandwiches is fire, which I keep on telling y'all, I don't even go to Sheetz for deli sandwiches, so y'all better have something else in there that I like too. I'm just like, that's what confuses me, because like that's what, like, shout out to the Berg Bros and Stacy, but they always talking about, they'll tell you about it, like Command Bros, my bad, Command Bros and Stacy, and they always tell you like, hey man, them Huawei's is way better than Sheetz, and I'm like, y'all gonna have to bring something fried back and hit me with that.
I don't. Would you? All right. So, would you consider it be more Gecko?
No, Gecko's my last.
Okay.
If out of the three that we have here,
Speedway, you include Speedway.
Speedway's my middle, because I like their drinks. Their drinks.
They got the good drinks.
And they actually have crushed ice, which is starting to become something that matters to me.
No, I don't think anybody else. Yeah, everybody else.
Them and ChickfilA, man. And that's really what made me care, because I got into ChickfilA lemonade really heavy, and the one that I went to Speedway. This turned into a tangent. I went to Speedway, and it was like they had the options of ice. I'm like, wait, you could pick the option of ice? All right, but again, they're still not on my Sheetz level, and I think that Marathon might be starting to get into the PTO or MTO game a little bit.
No, I don't know about that.
So I'm waiting on to see what they're about to hit for, because they got one in the middle of Oakland, and so if they do it right, they can boom.
So is it about is it about food? Is it about?
Oh, this is completely about food to me.
It's just completely about food?
I'm not, because I had a chick, and this is why she is definitely not on my team. She tried to get bougie with me one night about going to get something to Sheetz on like we about to head to the crib. She's like, I don't want no gas station food. I'm like, wait, what? And you don't gotta eat. I'm like, this ain't gas station food to me no more. Like, this was gas station food 15 years ago. This is a
We stopping at 8+. I ain't going to go pull up them hot dogs off the roller.
Yeah,
no.
That's how she made it seem to me. I'm like, wait, is this how you act in the Sheetz? I'm like, oh, you're going to be disappointed in our life. I'm like, Sheetz has surpassed a couple of fast food restaurants and where I'm going at this point.
She's over eating hard for me.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Real shit. I'll go to Sheetz at 2 a.m. now since they got the joint where you can sit outside again. I will. Inside too now. I'll sit at Sheetz. I'm not sitting at Arby's, especially since people are running into the front doors. Last week, apparently, a car. You didn't see that?
No.
Last week, a car ran through the doors of the Arby's on Mount Lebanon Church Road from the Walmart mall side. They didn't come from Lebanon Church Road. They somehow drove in from the other road, which is like a 25-mile-an-hour road. So, but no, I can list off a ton of really only like the signature restaurants are still above Sheetz to me. Like when I say signature, I'm talking like Wendy's, TB, KFC, Popeyes, like together. I'm not like segmenting them out.
Yeah, they're both on the way out. So
Yeah.
Sheetz gets chicken that's like real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, Popeye. My thing is, I can't trust Popeyes in Pittsburgh at this point. Popeyes is still there for me, but every Popeyes in Pittsburgh, except the one in Wilkinsburg, has had some type of wild ass story about what's going on in the back, and I can't trust y'all. They had to close the one in Oakland. The one in the South Side probably should be closed.
I think it's just that building, to be honest.
No,
The one in Oakland?
South side.
No. Well, yeah. Well, because you're right, because the Wendy's also had the same issue before they got kicked out, too.
Yeah.
But no. And then I've never heard anything bad about the one in Wilkinsburg. I'm just like, the rest of them have made me skeptical.
Yeah. It's
Well,
good.
there's not one in Wilkinsburg anymore. That's why.
Oh, that one closed too? So yeah, nah, okay.
Wait.
It's Leo's. It's like all.
Oh no, that was the wildest.
Some weed, cigarettes, everything in that store.
That was the wildest beef ever because it was like the Popeyes and the KFC were directly next to each other.
Yep.
Like, it was a drive-through separating them. That was it. He would know. I'm like, what was there first? Was it the Popeyes or the KFC? Because whoever was,
It's like
KFC.
Hook and Fish, like right down the road, like another block down.
Yeah, but Hook and Fish is in their own plateau. Like we're talking about fast food. Hook and Fish is
Fish is like a bodega. Of fast foods.
like that. Like to me, that's more authentic. Like you can get away with if you went to Hook and Fish and you took all the shit out of their stuff and then you went back to your crib and tried to feed that to your family. You might be able to get away with the fact that somebody might believe you made that at your crib. You put KFC on my plate, I'm a no. You put Popeyes on my plate, I'm going to know. That's the difference. Like you might actually get away with passing off your own food as Hook and Fish if you know how to throw down.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that. People know I don't got that type of skill in the kitchen.
Put some sauce on it.
But man, like all them restaurants, all that. But like when it comes to like second world restaurants, I guess that's what I call them. Like I'll go to Sheetz before I go back to A&W.
A&W.
I'm calling that like the second world restaurants.
You're not even including Long John in with that.
I don't like fish. Now people that like fish, I understand they still rep Long John like people rep KFC.
No. Long John's
Long
bingo.
John is not fish now. Like, it's like once you realize what fish is, what you order, it's like
Nah.
no.
But like, no, I'm not. The only thing I think I've ever eaten from Long John's is a Huss puppy, and I'm worried about that. I would go Boston Market. I would take Sheetz over Boston Market at this point, even though I think I've only eaten Boston Market once.
There's not even a Boston Market around anymore.
The one in Oakland. That one's open. People use that spot for drug deals, but that place is open. I walked through the parking lot one day. I'm like, there's people inside. I was like, oh, there's actually people inside. Okay. What's that other one? King's. I've never been to a King's, but I'm putting Sheetz above King's now. Bob Evans. I'm not walking into Bob Evans again. So there's just.
Yeah,
And at this point, like for breakfast, I'm not tipping unless I go on a date anymore person. So I just order Denny's and go pick it up. If I'm going that route. So, but yeah, no, there's a lot of places I'll pick over though.
I don't know. That's weird for circling back to what it was about the Philly Pittsburgh, like who's better. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't think it's that big of a heavy thing.
It was just the fact that they put it on the national broadcast. It's like Sheetz versus Wawa, and I'm like, or Huawei, or whatever y'all call it. I just don't care. But I'm just like, I didn't know that was part of our rivalry as a cities.
I don't think that's I don't. We don't need to put
Like
that.
I'd rather y'all throw a pierogi up there and a cheesesteak.
Okay, that'd be fair.
I'm not big on pierogies. I'm picking the cheesesteak. But that's just how I looked at it. I'm like, y'all could have did something a little more authentic. Maybe y'all could have put a Permane Brothers sandwich up there. Again, I'm not the Permane Brothers guy, but I understand what people think about us, and it's not the worst stereotype on the planet. Yeah. I don't like coleslaw, so that's where it gets weird for me.
But that's different coleslaw.
Everybody says that.
It's not the same coleslaw as like KFC or whatever. Like it's a little sweeter. I don't know. I think it's alright.
Fries are horrible.
What the fries are? Yeah, they put like this one I need. I need the O fries on top of there.
They cook the fries. Just cook them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
We don't eat raw. This is not.
This is unfiltered.
Not the Holocaust.
In other sports news, Bryce Harper still hasn't made a decision in training camp for baseball teams. At least pitchers have already reported. He's not a pitcher, so it doesn't matter. But they're going to have to start doing like spring ball pretty soon. Bryce Harper's still not picked the team. There's still a ton of other free agents that have not signed or been signed also because I believe the Bryce Harper thing is more important to most teams.
Yeah.
Shout out to being in Pittsburgh where we're not in this race at all.
Yeah, why don't we just toss up? We can pay. We're here to win. I'm ready to win. Let's do this.
They're not going to foreclose Seventh Springs just to get Bryce Harper.
Oh, come on. They're fine. They're making pretty decent money. I thought they owned something else too.
They own another ski resort too. And one of the other ones that nobody talks about. We just always talk about Seven Springs.
Yeah.
It's probably like the secret one for the rich white folk.
I don't know anything about it, so.
I mean, you're not rich.
I'm white. That's about it. Okay. I don't know. I think if we paid a little money, we can get it. You know, that'd be fun. That'd be. We could win. That's it. We'll come to the games. We'll pay for them game seats. Like we'll get that stadium popping. Just keep it like low. Keep it like
I'm
reasonable.
mad because the stadium is popping, James. The last time we went to the game was still popping.
It was popping?
Trash.
Yeah.
It was trash. So no, like the stadium's popping, man. That's what I'm like, bro. We gotta y'all gotta stop showing up. Y'all got a Baltimore one game, and in Baltimore they did that on purpose. They didn't let the people into the stands that day. In other news, me as a Lakers fan, I think LeBron and Magic have crucially fucked this up. They might not make the playoffs at this moment. I know they're like 2 or 3 games out, and if LeBron does his goddamn job, they at least should be the 8th seed. They're gonna get swept by the Warriors, but they should at least be the 8th seed. There's no way in hell they shouldn't make the playoffs. You got fucking LeBron James on your team. Like that alone gets you an 8th seed to me. And if that doesn't get you an 8th seed, then I'm gonna start talking like Brad. Like I just don't see. Even if I'm correct, I think even Jordan got the Magic to the playoffs, or not the Wizards to the playoffs. Again, I don't think they did much, but. So I'm just like, bro, this is You're fucking LeBron James. And my other issue is you got this weak ass television show where you basically talk about yourself all day. Apparently they say you like are an executive producer on the new 2 Chainz album. 2 Chainz don't need executively produce. They said the other night that he missed the game because he was up all night helping with the 2 Chainz album. And then next day.
No. You need to be helping out here on the court. What the hell?
And now they say you're about to ruin one of my childhood movies by making Space Jam 2.
No, you can't do it unless like you do. No. He needs to do something more. I mean, playing. He's playing lousy. If that.
They just lost to the Pelicans without the monobrow.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't even be possible. Like if Anthony Davis ain't on the court, they basically turned into the Chicago Bulls to me.
Yeah.
On the other side, the grass is not greener in Boston either. Kyrie Irving seems to be sick of Boston too, which is funny because Kyrie left LeBron on purpose. Mm-hmm. And now it's like this ain't. Another thing is that Boston's still in the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs, and their team is fighting with each other. Mm-hmm. Like they're full blown. Like nobody likes Kyrie because Kyrie wants to be the boss, but everybody there knows like, bro, you ain't win shit until LeBron came back to Cleveland. If we remember, Kyrie was a dude in Cleveland alone, not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, man, nobody trusts you. But you keep on talking. Like, he's out here calling people kids and trying to son people. And I'm like, yo, Kyrie, nobody respects you like that. Like, honestly, keeping it real, NBA players are in any sport. My bad. NBA players.
Not have the rights to that music.
Dude, the person that made that beat doesn't have the right to that music. But what was I about to say? Shit. Fuck. Pain fucked up my train of thought. But one more time. Shit. I'm mad I just lost my train of thought on that one. Oh, Kyrie Irving trying to talk. Oh, when it comes to being a grown man and playing sports, it's not that you let somebody son you. That means that, like, you walked, like, this is the issue the Steelers are having now because nobody really has that type of respect for Ben. You walk in the room and you see Kobe. That's a legend. Mm-hmm. You see LeBron, no matter how we feel about him right this second, he's going down as a legend. Kyrie at this moment is just going down as like a really good NBA player.
Yeah.
Like the Reggie Miller. That's a Hall of Famer, but that's a really good NBA player. That's not Michael. Mm-hmm. Kyrie is in that same boat. Like he might have one of the best handles I've ever seen. He still ain't AI.
Yeah.
So that's where Kyrie is. I'm like, hey man, they respect you to a point. But nobody's here to be like, hey, son, you need to do this. Who you calling son? That's how they look at Kyrie. Where LeBron calls you son, and you just like, I want this title, so I ain't gonna cuss you out. Like I'm not cool with this per se, but I understand that if I leave you, then nobody's gonna think I can win. Yeah. Tom Brady has that now. Tom Brady could talk to almost anybody on that team any way he wants.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the difference is I believe that Tom Brady's not like that.
Yeah, no.
Where we have the issue here in Pittsburgh where we know Ben Roethlisberger's willing to be out here telling people, I'm your daddy. I have come like, I wouldn't be shocked if Ben got drunk and tried to say that to somebody's face.
He did. That's why he doesn't want to be there.
Like straight up, not like, oh, I'm the boss, I'm the guy around here. I am your daddy. Is where this is going.
That's just.
Also, I have Fabulous had to go to court. He pleaded guilty for what happened with his girl. The interesting part of that to me is Fabulous's government name is John Jackson.
That's it.
It's for a nigga that's been walking around for the last 20 years calling himself Fabulous. I had not
that fabulous. Huh?
Yeah.
It's just not that nice.
Like I'm not mad at it. I'm just like, yeah, that was kind of a underwhelming one right there.
Oh, yeah.
Also, and this is gonna be weird because this is the worst concert venue in the city of Pittsburgh because I didn't know they did concerts here. Toby Keith, the country singer, will be coming to Pittsburgh in September. The reason why he can't be on the North Shore, in September to do the "That's Country Bro" tour. Ooh, y'all got some terrible names for tours.
Well, that just contradicted everything about that one. But, okay.
The tour, the place it will be held, not Heinz Field.
Galaxy.
That would have been better. Not Heinz Field, not PNC Park, not Console or now PPG. They're not going to Pitt.
How about Highmark Park?
Highmark Stadium
Yeah.
is where they're going. Issue, it's a soccer field.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that many seats. It sits between 4 train tracks. 4 train tracks. And this is an outdoor concert. One of the 2 other train tracks are literally on the other side of the fence.
It's right next to it.
We've been down there.
Yeah.
It sucks when them trains start trying to roll by and
Yeah.
trying to talk. Like while you're watching a game, let alone a concert.
He might have to like get a hold of like U.S. Steel to know about when
It's not
these
U.S.
trains
Steel.
are coming.
This ain't U.S. Steel. This is a combination of Amtrak and like the government.
Yeah. Gotta find out whenever they're moving. Like, all right, we're gonna do intermissions in between.
This is more important, bro.
Like as soon as you're in, all right, folks, go out and get yourself a beer. I'll be right back.
I feel like they would open the field up and still have the sidelines. You know,
That still don't stop the noise. Again, a train
that's
is
not
louder
gonna
than
stop the noise.
I don't care what you out here bumping your country music to. Your bassing that guitar is not over the train.
Yeah. There's plenty of parking there, so that's one plus.
They also said, I was reading about this, apparently the last concert they held there, the staff had no idea how to handle concert because they fired Landmark a while ago. That's a shot. We could have handled that shit. They didn't know how to handle an actual concert crowd. They only had 2 people taking tickets. Apparently
What?
parking got so bad at some point that the people over at Station Square in the parking garage had to stop people from the concert from parking in the parking garage because they still wanted people to be able to park to eat their regular dinner. Which is
Yeah.
also the issue with the Station Square as a concert venue. Station Square is really supposed to be like the Pittsburgh chill area, where you
Yeah.
can just go out and have a good night. And the soccer field's there, but the soccer team isn't big enough to affect that. Or the high school games they play there every once in a while
Yeah.
for football. So you can still go down there and have the ambiance. This is supposed to be like, or outside of going up to Mount Washington to get your money stolen, like just your wallet taken from you. Station Square is supposed to be that middle ground where like the every man can take his girl out every once in a while to Station Square. If you show up down there and there ain't no parking, you're going home. Like it's
Yeah. But they just like they took out most of the parking for that new, I guess, the apartment complex or something, or condos.
I mean, the parking wasn't there 3 years ago. That was Club Zoo, wasn't it? Not, yeah.
But I mean, this still was.
There was more parking, but like
Yeah.
that whole most of that parking wasn't even there for like 3 years.
Yeah, and then you got like a little bit up in the Wabash tunnel.
Horrible. This concert. Just letting you know that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna be a good concert. I don't think it's gonna.
I mean, the only thing is, from what I understand from people that like country music, Toby Keith is like up there, like they're one of their Jay-Z, Nas type
yeah,
figures.
he would be.
I'm just saying it's gonna be stress.
Oh, yeah, that
This
whole-
crossing that fucking bridge and Western, like all that little area, buses, carrot, it's gonna be horrible right there.
That
And
whole,
everybody from West Virginia is coming up. Like,
they're gonna be coming up from 376, and they're like, "How do we get off if the exit doesn't let us off right there?"
yeah,
I was a kid and never understood why there was no exit from the tunnel into the south side, but I'm like, whatever.
yeah. There's nothing. Yeah, but
This is gonna be wild.
I think that'd be-
I mean, this is what, like, to me, if you can't get Heinz Field, you need to go to the Pavilion. If you're too big for Stage AE,
Yeah.
which Toby Keith, I will admit, is too big for Stage AE, which is weird to me because I don't think that Highmark Stadium holds much more capacity to an outdoor show to Stage
Yeah.
AE. Again, they don't have that many seats.
Are country all about only having outdoor venues? Because I feel like they could just
No,
go to
I've seen
console.
indoor country concerts, but you got to be small. Again, this is where I like Toby Keith must be in that weird part of his career where he might not be selling out as much as he used to.
Yeah.
But he can't go to like whatever they're calling Diesel now.
Oh.
Foxtails or,
Yeah, like
Foxtail-
he's not
yeah.
small enough to go back to Foxtails.
and that's where Wiz and those after parties gonna be since we're on that. Foxtails.
So that's just weird how everything's gonna work with that. Also, shout out to Vlad the Groove, who again hit me with some of the exclusive. If you go on there, he has his new tracks, Bands and Thotty Body, on the UnFiltered page, and soon will be on the rotation on the UnFiltered radio station. And
Whoa.
Okay, UnFiltered radio station.
We up.
Grimo Worldwide radio station under the UnFiltered playlist, because I'm sure we can get an UnFiltered playlist.
I think this is coming off his new album 333 or something.
And also, we have to always shout out, man. And again, like I said in my personal post, PETA, you can get these hands. You already shut the fuck up Steve Irwin's birthday a couple days ago. Y'all ain't fucking up Mr. Rogers' birthday. Happy birthday to Mr. Rogers.
Well, what are they gonna say? You were abusing dinosaur figures and puppets? Like, what?
I just know
That was 100% caught. Like,
all I
what?
know is, man, if I had met somebody who says they like rock with PETA the other day, they'd have got these hands. They'd have got these fucking hands.
They just recently were saying some wild shit. I don't really know too much about this, like, that designer or something, or I don't know. He was some famous individual, but PETA wrote something bad about him. It's like, good for that that he died. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, the dude with the gloves. The
Yeah.
dude just passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like...
They're old fashioned. That's they...
I'm letting you know this now.
That's their rival.
The day that Big Boy dies, they're going to write a really mean message about Big Boy, the rapper.
Oh, I could, yeah.
Big Boy's basically written diss tracks about PETA. Because he's like, full blown, I'm wearing my fur until I die.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go. Me and Malachi talked about this before the show started. I'll let you see this. Firefighters in some parts of the country have gotten tired of people parking in front of fire hydrants. So when the fire broke out in front of this house where the fire hydrant was being blocked, they broke out the windows of somebody's car and threw the hose right between the windows.
I've seen this before, yeah. No, you can't be messing around. It's serious. I don't care if you want to park there for a second, you know.
Oh, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm never in front of a fire hydrant, but the parking where I live at is sketchy because they don't really mark where the gates of the trash dumpsters can open to. And I feel like that's the same risk because, like, my mom tried to park my car, like, at the last spot next to the dumpster, and I moved that shit immediately. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, moving my car. I'm like, that thing's going to swing open with the wind, and I ain't going to have no fucking taillights.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, and that would have been on me. Like, this wouldn't have been nobody else's fault. I couldn't go blame the apartment complex for this. So, everybody's like, oh, well, he didn't have to do that. I'm like, bro, you didn't have to park there. Like,
yeah.
Like, parking there that was illegal. Like, everybody knows that one.
Last but not least, for the video Overly Unfiltered, please go check out on the Unfiltered page. I posted it at 7:56 p.m. yesterday. It is a video. This is what I was told. I have no clue how real this is, but it looks really real. Also, this looks like I don't know if this is a woman or not. Apparently, a man mistook glue for a lubricant somewhere in Africa. And this video is a man and what I think is a woman. I can't tell. I don't see enough to know if she's a woman or not. But they're stuck together.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'd have to say, all right, no. If it's what is it? Whatever glue. This is super glue, right? Allegedly.
Yeah, we go with allegedly.
Because that's Elmer's.
It's not Elmer's. No. Elmer's ain't gonna do nothing.
You would have lost a little bit of hair.
But
cool.
I'm just saying, like, if one does use lubrication, you put it in your hand and you apply it, immediately right then and there, it should be stuck right there. You're not just like applying it right around and it would have just got stuck right at the tip. I'm just saying.
This is
or you would.
For everybody that's like, why did you pick this man as your co-host? Because I would never talk about that.
I'm just saying, I don't know how much I can believe it, but it's still like that's
the only reason I believe it is because it looks like it's in like the backwoods of Africa or the DR. For y'all, I'm just saying.
I don't know. It's just I'm not.
It is the weirdest. The combination of that and the guy that decided to slide down an abandoned water park slide, which I'm surprised you ain't break your spine. Seriously. Here.
Oh, that one, the water park? Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah, that doesn't look too fake.
Well, why is there just like, wait, why is there like, if this is like a media news?
Oh, this turned into something else, but I believe
I don't know. I feel like there would be like, oh, hey, let me grab a like towel, blanket or something. I don't know. That's a little too much. And just letting this like filming like this, he'll be like, oh, hey, this is, you know, I don't know. I think this is all fucked up.
Also,
if this is real.
I saw this video. Y'all, I just want to get y'all opinion. I don't know why our brother priests like to do this bullshit. So we got a black priest out here trying to convince his congregation that he is Jesus Christ reincarnated or something. He gets some brother to fake his own death. I know he faked his own death because if you watch this motherfucker in the casket, you can see his tongue moving. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there talking. He's like, who's the family? Who's the family? He's like, he's been dead since Friday. I guess the sermon was Sunday. And he brought this nigga back to life. Supposedly. The worst part about it, there's like a white dude.
Was it the open casket?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see dude's tongue moving. And I'm just like, bro, this is. And then there's a white dude in the group. There's like one white dude in the group that just looks like, this looks like he wants to kill everybody. Because it looks like he's like, y'all cheering for this, right? like I know there's some bullshit, right? And I felt it in white dude's soul. Like somebody dragged you out here and told you was gonna see something.
Yeah.
And then you saw this.
Because there's a couple people that were being a little too extra of like seeing them come back to life. It's like, I don't know if he was really dead. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's some, I don't know if that was staged or something, but that was just a little too much for me to believe.
Yeah. No, I understand. I fully understand on that one. So that is it, guys, for the short show. We'll be back next week. I think if we have a gap in what we're going to do next week, we might be able to get y'all a top 10. We haven't done a top 10 in a while. And I do know that we got some people. I do have somebody who wants to be interviewed soon, so I do think we might be getting another interview in soon. And yeah, so always happy to come through. Thank you for Malachi for coming down and doing the production always. And thank you, James, for showing up in the tracksuit.
I'm ready.
So we will see y'all later. Grind Mode Worldwide Radio as always.